Hello, my friend! Welcome to one more class. Today, we're going to study imperative. How do we use the imperative in English? We're going to see the imperative in titles, in directions, when you give directions, in recipes, in instructions. It's very easy. And you are going to see examples from real life. It's nice and it's easy to understand, to see, and to use. Because in our classes, I like to see you understanding the concepts, learning the concepts, and using the concepts to speak, to communicate. Okay? You can use the content when you comment here and when you talk to people in class, at work, at home, when you travel. Before we start, let's use the imperative. First thing, stretch. Stretch. Let's count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to open. Maybe you don't see my arm here, but you are going to open your arms and open your chest. Open. Let's count to 10. You start, please. 1, 2. All right, now return to the original position. Release your shoulders. Now we're going to move our fingers. This movement here. 10 times, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. You count for us. My cell phone is ringing because I haven't put my cell phone on flight mode. So I'm going to decline the call and put my cell phone on flight mode. If you can do it with your cell phone, fantastic. I always leave my cell phone on flight mode because I want to be 100% dedicated to you, to your class. And you see, if my cell phone is not on flight mode, I receive calls, I receive notifications, I receive messages. The social networks come and tell me that there is something new, there is a new notification, there is a new message, there is a new photo, there is a new like. And I don't want to be interrupted right now. I want to focus in your learning. Now, let's breathe in and breathe out. We're going to breathe in, hold, and breathe out. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right. Now, grab paper, grab pen, organize your desk if you can. If you are in your living room, no problem. You can sit comfortably on your sofa. Isolate distractions. Isolate noise. If it's possible, close the window, close the door. And we're going to study the imperatives. Are you prepared? Of course you are. You are always prepared. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friend. Let's see the imperative in context. I always like to give you real-life examples. Examples from different situations. And today we're going to study the use of imperatives. And I'm going to show you a speech by Morgan Freeman. And he is devoting this speech to Denzel Washington. Morgan Freeman is a very famous actor. Denzel Washington is another very famous actor. Both guys are phenomenal. I'm a fan of their competence, of their ability to act. Let's see this speech and get the moments of imperative. First thing, take out of flight mode and let's go.
40 years ago, 1979, Denzel and I were in a Joseph Papp production of Coriolanus. I was the lead. Denzel was a stage prop. Now he has public.
He's saying that they were preparing a movie. Morgan Freeman was the lead, and Denzel Washington was there as a stage prop, he says, right? Now
he has publicly said many times that during rehearsal he came to me with questions, suggestions about how we should play a sword fight scene that could be extended with some extra stabbing and wounding and shit. He said that I looked at him after asking his name, and I told him this, kid.
All right. He's telling the story. And he says, Denzel Washington says that I looked at him and said, now we're going to see the imperative in context, because we're going to hear the instructions from Morgan Freeman to Denzel Washington.
We click swords 3 times, I stab you, you fall down and die. I'm going to tell you the correct story. What I actually said to Denzel was, you're that brilliant young actor just out of Fordham University. That was a great suggestion. Joe Papp never thought of it. Hell, Shakespeare didn't think of that one. Clearly, you know better than the two of them how this thing should be staged. What a fine eye for action. I think you have a bright career ahead of you. And I hope one day to perhaps work with you in a film. But until then, get back where you belong. When you come out on stage, we click swords 3 times, I stab you, and you fall down and die. Now, I'm much too young to remember the very first AFI Life Achievement Award back in 1973, but I'm pretty sure of this. When they created this award, Denzel Hayes Washington Jr. was waiting in the wings. Denzel, my dear friend, congratulations.
Beautiful, beautiful. So how, let me just put the cell phone on flight mode. He was telling the story and he said, I told Denzel, we click swords 3 times, I kill you, you fall down, you die. He is using the imperative to describe the moment of the movie. And we use the imperative for different things. If you ask me, Felipe, what should I do to be more productive when I study English? I tell you, 1, organize your desk. 2, isolate distractions. 3, leave your cell phone on flight mode. 4, isolate noise. 5, write, take notes. I'm giving you instructions, and when I give instructions, I use the imperative. The imperative is simply the verb without to. I tell you, concentrate, isolate noise, leave your cell phone on flight mode, take notes, write, invent examples, comment your examples here, talk to me, listen to your voice, pay attention. I'm using the imperative to give these instructions to you. We can also use the imperative in the negative. Don't stand up. Don't answer messages during the class. Don't make calls during the class. Don't eat while you are studying. Don't sleep in class. I'm laughing here because I have slept in class many times. There was a moment of my teenage years. I think it was 14. And I fell asleep. Oops, my cell phone fell. And I fell asleep very frequently in class. Man, it was amazing the amount of sleep that I had. I needed to sleep, and I would put my arms like this, and I would sleep for some minutes, normally during the mathematics class, normally. And I do not recommend this to you. Don't do it, imperative. Don't sleep in class, imperative. I prefer to use the imperative to give the direction that I expect. For example, if my daughter, Maria Eduarda, is putting her fingers on her mouth, I tell her, take your fingers out of your mouth. Instead of saying, don't touch your mouth, I tell her, take your fingers out of your mouth. Duda, organize your toys. Lulu, stop. Duda, help your mother, please. Lulu, wait for your mother. Duda, silence. Sometimes we are in a public place. We are at a restaurant and she wants to scream. I tell her, silence, please. This is a public place. This is not your home. Be polite. When we give commands, when we give orders, when we give instructions, we are using the imperative. Now please tell me 3 things I should do to be healthier. Tell me 3 things I should do to be healthier. Tell me, I'm waiting for you. Tell me. You can comment here later if you prefer. 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friend. So good to see you here. Let's keep studying imperatives. We use this form of the verb to give instructions, to give orders, commands. It's simple. It's just, let me just write here. Just a moment. Mr. Felipe Dib, imperatives. We use the imperatives with the verb without to. For example, go home. Start. Stop. Don't quit. Don't give up. Don't drink. This, simple like this. You also see the imperative in signs. If you were driving and we see a sign like this, By the color of the sign, you understand the meaning. This sign means stop. If you see the same thing, but the color is green, you imagine that this sign is go. So the signs also talk in imperative. Stop. Don't cross. Go. We use imperative to give a recipe to. You tell me, Felipe, what's the best strategy to learn English? What's the best strategy to learn language? You know my opinion. 1. Concentrate. 2. Isolate distractions. 3. Participate. Comment the classes. Write notes. 4. Practice. Invent examples. Listen to your voice speaking English. Talk to your friends in English. Oh, but they don't understand English. No problem. You teach English to your friends. Teach English at home. Speak in English. I am using the imperatives to talk to you. Concentrate. Isolate distractions. Participate. Practice. And I'm going to show you a recipe. If you're hungry, you're going to see some food. 3, 2, 1. Did you learn how to make it? If you learn it well, you can invite me and I can go there and try and taste your food, my friend. If you want to come here too, I'm here to serve you. 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friend. Tell me 3 things you do to relax. Okay, come here. Walk next to me. See the nature. Listen to the birds. Come here. When I asked you, tell me 3 things you can do to relax, I used the imperative. Tell me 3 things. When I said, come here, I used the imperative again. When I said, listen to the birds, I used the imperative. When I told you, walk next to me, I used the imperative. Comment here the 3 things you do to relax. I want to see your answers. The more you participate, the more opportunities you have. 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friend. So good to see you here. Amazing. I love when we come to this point of the class because I know you have watched the class, you have learned the content. In this case, we studied the imperative and the uses of the imperative when you are cooking, that you are following a recipe, when you are reading a sign on the street, when you tell people to do something. And now, I'm going to ask you a question and I would like to see your answer. You can comment your answer here or you can send me a message on my cell phone. The question is, how do I get to your house from the airport of your city? Give me directions. You can say, oh, take the avenue. For example, if you arrive here in Campo Grande, Mato Grosso do Sul, this is where I am. You arrive at the airport and you tell me, Felipe, how do I get to your office? I tell you, first, take Duque de Caxias Avenue. You are going to take Duque de Caxias Avenue. Then I say, after 2 kilometers, you have a roundabout and you're going to take Afonso Pena Avenue. Take Afonso Pena Avenue and drive for 20 blocks. Then you turn right on José Antônio Street. Go down the streets until you see the lights. Go straight ahead and turn left on Rodolfo José Pinho Street. You are going to see some offices on your right. Keep driving. And then I give you more instructions and you arrive here. I would like to see your directions. How do I get to your house? Comment here. You are going to use the imperative to answer this question. I am happy to see your progress. I'm happy to see your dedication. Thank you very much. I am Felipe Dib. See you next class.